Jeez, dude, seriously? It was only you?
The one and only.
What are you doing here, dude?
I was just in the area. I thought I'd stop by, man.
Yeah, kind of weird, dude. You always seem to be in the area and stop by when I'm in the middle of something.
Oh yeah? What you in the middle of?
Well, honestly, it's really none of your business, but if you really have to know, I'm putting together a new vlog.
Really? You haven't done one of those in like over a year, right?
Well, I did put one out recently, if you didn't see, but I would say that this one's a pretty big one.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, at least I think it is. But honestly, I'm just running into some frustrations and putting this edit together.
What kind of frustrations?
You know, honestly, I just don't know where to start. I've been through this edit several times over the last year, and I just feel like it has to be more than just, hey everyone, I'm releasing part 3 over a year later.
What? It seems like you're making a pretty big deal out of this. I mean, does it really matter? I mean, let's be completely honest. Does anyone really care?
You see, there you go again, man.
What? What did I say?
You always have something to say. You always have something negative to say. It's like you're always trying to find reasons that something won't work out or why I shouldn't pursue or do something. You know what? It gets old, dude.
Hey, hold up a minute. I just simply asked a question. See, what you call negativity, I call being realistic. I'm trying to help you out.
Help me out? Seriously? It never feels like you're trying to help me out.
Whatever, man.
And to answer your question, it doesn't matter if anyone else cares. I care. This is something that I need to do, and I need to do it right.
Yeah, I can see that you don't want to listen to me. You never listen to reason. I'm out of here, man. Hey, listen, why don't you go work through your frustrating little vlog, and I'll go and do something that's actually worthwhile.
Yeah, we'll see you later, dude. It's better when you're not around anyway.
Yeah, whatever, man. I'm out.
Hey there, my friends. Andrew Scott here. Let's talk. Life can be really crazy at times, can it? Have you ever had that little voice on the inside your head, or maybe that big voice at times that tries to negate, argue, or, just completely come against your hopes, your dreams, and your endeavors? That part of you that plays devil's advocate, and sometimes you literally have these arguments within, this inner turmoil, if you will, about taking the next step, especially when it comes to pursuing your passions. This is what it's been like for me over the past year to year and a half. As many of you know who follow this channel, I started a 3-part series called Pursue Your Passions over a year ago, and guess what? I didn't finish the series. 2 parts in, I went silent. Now, maybe you didn't stress much about it, but I did. You see, my personality is one that I don't like loose ends, and I had put out part 1 and part 2 of what would be a 3-part series and never got around to finishing. Well, to be completely honest, I did begin editing for the final part of the series a year ago, but it just felt like a dead end. And so, like many things in our lives, it ended up on the back burner. Another reason I believe that I was having trouble in finalizing part 3 was that while I was in Florida filming for my sister's company, by the way, I'll leave a link below for part 1 and part 2. If you haven't had a chance, go ahead and watch those. But I did a wrap up for part 3, or what would be part 3, while I was down there. We had a break between shooting scenes, so I went out back right on the canal. It was beautiful. I set up my tripod and my camera, and I had this whole final speech that I was going to give to you about pursuing your passions like I was. Well, unfortunately, it wasn't until I got home back to Michigan that I realized I had never set focus. The entire scene was blurry. Well, not the entire scene. The canal and the trees looked beautiful, completely in focus behind me, but my face was completely blurry. And I tried everything I could, to try to make this pass. And like I said before, my personality is I don't like loose ends or things to be less than the best quality that I know I can put out at any given time. So I just gave up. But here's the silver lining in what seemed to be a really dark cloud. And I'm glad that I waited. I'm in such a better place right now. And I believe that I can speak better from experience, especially with this whole last year when it comes to pursuing our passions. This last year, for sure, it's been a wave of ups and downs. I mean, I had flown down to my sister's and brother-in-law's house to record a bunch of content for her brand at that time, which, by the way, didn't work out because by the time I got back home, everything shut down. Some of her brands said, oh, everything's on hold. I mean, the whole world had changed. I was getting ready to launch a brand new business and the pandemic happened. And as much as I'd like to go back and change history and somehow make it all go away, there's so many lessons that I learned through this time. Even though I had purposed in my heart that I was going to start a brand new business, it really made me think long and hard about my life, where I am right now and where I want to be. I certainly can't complain. I've had successful businesses. I have a wonderful wife who actually loves me. Thanks, babe. I appreciate that, even on the bad days. I have 4 beautiful children and 4 perfect, let me say that again, perfect grandchildren. Come on, papas and grandpas, we know what we're talking about. But we're not rich by any stretch, but we do okay. We have each other. We do well. We eat. We have a roof overhead. It's all good. But being in a state of lockdown where, the day-to-day hustle and bustle and just being busy all the time, it literally slowed down to that snail's pace. I really had time to face some tough questions, really tough questions. And the thing that kept coming back to me is, Andy, what are you going to do in this next stage of life? I could choose to do the same old, which provided for us just fine, but was I really fulfilled? Was I really happy? Tough questions, yes, but questions that we all need to ask ourselves. And so I made the decision. Over the course of the last year, I did everything from, build a website to incorporate a business, join my local chamber, print business cards. I began to reach out to everyone and anyone I knew to begin to build this business. I also had to invest in better equipment. I took online courses to better hone my craft. I wanted to be better at what I did and what I do. I even studied for and passed my test with the FAA to get my remote pilot's license so that I could fly my drone commercially and actually legally being paid to fly my drone. Was it a lot of work? Oh yeah, for sure. Lots of extra time, lots of extra effort. And I'm one that, literally, I want all my ducks in a row before I proceed. And sometimes, get this, sometimes I had to just operate outside my comfort zone to get things done. Now, I say all this not for a pat on the back, but to encourage you. What dreams, what desires, what passions do you have in your life that, up until now, you haven't pursued? I mean, let's be honest. For most of us, the only thing holding us back is ourselves. It's that voice on the inside that's arguing with you, that's telling you that you aren't enough, that you don't have what it takes. Is it really worth it? Maybe today is the start of different answers to that voice inside. Maybe you need to say back, maybe even out loud, maybe without a bunch of people around so they don't think you're crazy. I don't know. But maybe out loud say something like, yes, I have what it takes. Yes, it's really worth it. And then begin by sitting down and putting a plan together for yourself. Is there a hobby or a business idea that you've desired to do for years, but you never gave yourself permission to step out and work toward that goal? Maybe today is that day. Now, I'm not saying that you just quit your job and, pursue your passion. You most likely aren't in a position to do that. But what little steps can you take right now while you're working your main job, while you're providing for your family and your home, to begin to see those dreams and passions become a reality in your life? Only you can figure that out. But I want to encourage you to start now so that you'll never live with the regret of not trying. So I'm hoping, you guys, that this has really spoke to you. If it has, make sure to comment below. I'd love to hear about your passions and dreams and those next steps to getting there. I want to be on the journey with you. But above all, and I know I say this every time I put out a vlog, well, it's because I believe it. And I also believe this, that your passions and your gifts are essential, not just to you, but to the world around you. So I'll say this again, let's live well and let's love well. Let's be the inspiration in someone's life to bring them to a greater sense of purpose. Live, love, vlog. Peace and grace, my friends.
The one and only